What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a blessed morning, afternoon, or evening. Um, Today, we are going to be talking about 5 best practices on how to make college the best years of your life. Um, I have been out of college for around a year now, and since graduating, I've been working. But I figure I just had the idea to make a little video to just offer some of my advice and tips to people that are going to be going into college in the fall. I know it's early, people are just finishing high school or their semesters of college, but it's never too late to, get some insight. So yeah, without further ado, I have my little notes right here. Just going to quickly share with you some of these tips, and I hope these can help anybody. The first tip I have would be to get out of your comfort zone. Pardon me, to get out of your comfort zone. With this, I would just emphasize that a lot of freshmen, specifically freshmen, transfer students too, but freshmen, often feel intimidated by the size of the classes and the workload compared to high school, because obviously it is a much bigger step. You're entering a university, a whole institution. And while it definitely can be scary, it definitely can be hard work. It's meant to be hard for a reason. If you want to be an accountant, you need to, master credits and debits. If you want to be an economist, you need to master, some demand and supply. These things are, they start out simple, but you have to reach some point of maybe not mastery, but a solid understanding of the fundamentals and a little bit of the extra stuff, Plus, get out of your comfort zone, and obviously that applies to the social aspects too. If you're a skinny young guy, you're kind of timid, you didn't really have many friends in high school. Think of this transition to university as a fresh start. Especially if you're going to a different state or just a bigger school, where a lot of your friends from high school, people from high school, aren't going. You can really reinvent yourself here. These 4 years, they say people used to say in movies and stuff, it's the most formative years of your life, because you can literally create the kind of person you want to be and the universe you want around you, if that makes sense. So the first thing I would say is work your hardest to get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try new things, whether it's, going to a new social event, trying a hard class, joining a club, things of that nature. The second thing I would say would be you need to do all you can to set yourself up for success. And by that I mean you need to work hard now so you don't have to later. And with that, we can look at hard classes, right? So for me, I studied economics. In freshman year, obviously it wasn't filled with too many economics classes because it's mostly gen eds. So, math, science, that kind of stuff, which is important. But sophomore year came around, and the one thing I wish I would have done is taken a bit harder classes and stayed steady on the track of trying to finish these as early as possible, so I didn't have to do them later. It all worked out in the end, but it really would be to your benefit to not load yourself up to the point where you can't enjoy your first semesters in college. Like, obviously you want to have time to meet people, go out, this, that, and the third thing, but you also need to remember you're there to develop yourself intellectually. You're there to set yourself up for success in the future. And hopefully, have a decent job or do something where you bring value to people, right? And you only bring value when you have a solid understanding of what you want and what makes people successful in your field. So, and again, that kind of ties back to the getting out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to work hard early, so you have time after to kind of coast and enjoy. You don't want to be in your senior year and worrying about trying to get your final class for your major. You want to be able to, in your second semester, for example, be able to take your easy classes, maybe 1 or 2 remaining classes from your major, but the rest can just be like exploratory things like art, history, music. You can just have fun. Like, you don't need to be stressing. So I'd say set yourself up for success, work hard now or early so you don't have to later. The third would be to network. I went to a small business school in Rhode Island. So the networking was kind of drilled into our brain, basically even before we even came. You know, we'd have things like career fairs, mock interview sessions, resume drafting, that kind of stuff. And most colleges obviously would have some level of this. But as a freshman, when you come in, you think, oh, I have 4 years. I don't need to worry about drafting the perfect resume or working on my interview skills. It'll handle itself. I have next year. I have 3 more years, 4 more years to do it. It sounds silly, we hear it all the time, but the time really does fly, especially when you're in college. I still can't believe that I'm done, and it's been a year that I've been out. So when it comes to networking, especially on a college campus, you really should do all you can to build solid relationships with members of faculty, so professors you had decent classes with, professors you felt like you actually could learn something from. And I say that because you never know how far these connections will take you and how much they'll benefit you in the future, right? For me, now I'm trying to apply to a grad school program for economics. So I'm blessed and lucky enough to have some economics professors from my undergrad who are more than willing to help write me letters of recommendation to send to this program. And if I wasn't, I'm grateful that I took the time to develop these professional relationships with them, because, some students don't feel comfortable asking teachers questions, even in class. Some students won't feel comfortable sending their professor an email asking them, hey, can you write this letter for me? And that's sad, that's bad, because the professors are there not to dog you, not to give you horrible grades, not to make you hate your life, but to teach you, to build these skills, to build your confidence, So networking is one of the most important things, I would say, in just life, especially if you're trying to do something in the business world or research world, Pardon me. The fourth one I'd say would be, you got to explore your interests. If you have even an inkling of a desire, of an interest in something, you just got to dive into it. Go full force. And I say that because you might discover a deeper love for it that you didn't know you had. For me, I grew up playing basketball and I loved it. And obviously everyone who plays basketball, it's a young guy, dreams of like playing in college and NBA, whatever, but obviously I wasn't that good. It was still fun, played pickup here and there in college. And then one day, we're coming back from pickup, and I see my friend, and I think he had like some new shoes, some like New Balance shoes. I'm like, oh, where'd you get those? He says, I joined the practice team, and they gave me this stuff. He said, they also gave me some gear, like sweater, shorts, workout clothes. I'm like, word? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how'd you go? Do you have to like try out whatever? He's like, no, just like go and like, talk to them. Like they need people to train the girls. This is for the girls basketball team. I was like, awesome. So I go, and from that one conversation turned into the final 2 years of my time at school being a practice player. And it was great, made lots of cool friends. It was cool to be a part of a team. And then that led me to do club basketball, where we go to other schools around the area and play. It was great. So yeah, like that's kind of a long-winded example, but you really should explore any interest you have, whether it's drawing, do an art class, join an art club, if it's music, if it's choir. My school had an a cappella group. I can't sing for shit, but people who were nervous about singing, but they sang like maybe a couple times in high school, they joined and they ended up being some of the best in the program. It was great. And again, like these things, similar to how I said with the classes being there for a reason, these clubs are there for you to develop and, I guess, self-inquire about what it is that you like about this life, right? What it is that you enjoy to do outside of classwork. If you go to this college and just only think about grades, resume, getting a job, you're going to be miserable. Likewise, if you go to school and only think about, getting drunk, hanging out with girls, hanging out with dudes, the social stuff, you're also going to feel like shit. And you might finish way later than your friends because you didn't spend the time to develop that balance. So explore your interest. The last thing I would say, And these are in no particular order, obviously. But the last thing I would say would be, if you can, well, you should, but if you feel like you can, you should try to get a job. Try to get some kind of on-campus job, whether it be being a tutor, working at like a call center. So my school, we had our alumni phone network thing, so students would work in the call center, contacting alumni, basically begging them for money. Excuse me, I didn't do that, but a lot of my friends did. Easy job, good hours. Could do that. You could work at like a nearby coffee shop on your campus, something like that. Just something to do to, one, give you some pocket change and some money to go and like have fun. But two, and more importantly, it would help to teach you time management skills, Because again, all these things and things that are put in place in college are meant to develop you and make you, a more intelligent young man, young woman, more capable young man or young woman. And a capable man or woman is one who is able to manage a plethora of different things in their life. They're able to manage their social life, able to manage their physical health, their fitness, mental well-being, and able to manage their finances, able to have a job, make some money. You don't want to be rich, don't want to be working 40 hours a week because you still have to, take care of the other two. But just something to further add additional layers of structure, So that's what I would say. Get a job and it'll teach you time management. But listen, guys, that was it. You've successfully listened to me yap about some things, some tips I would say for incoming undergraduate people to make college the best years of your life. I really hope this helped. I could hopefully maybe make some more videos like this in the future if anyone has interest. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right.